Welcome to this 10 Weather Impact Show. I'm meteorologist Chris Tomer.
And I'm meteorologist Aaron White, and it's going to be an interesting 24 hours coming up here.
For sure. We've got, to the west of us, you had texted the group and said, hey, Storm Prediction Center upgraded this thing near Chicago to a moderate risk, as it's called, which means it's going to be a pretty rough day up there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, kind of watching some of the projections showing some supercell thunderstorms, as we call them, really intense storms that could produce some strong tornadoes, hail, wind, and really just going to be wild to see how those evolve and then what happens here tomorrow.
I think our thinking of 2 rounds for the Columbus area is still holding true. I don't know how you feel, but I think there'll be one early in the day and then probably one in the afternoon.
Yeah, kind of looking at one coming in morning hours for the morning commute between 6 a.m., 8 a.m., kind of arriving and then continuing through the morning. Kind of depends on how long that break is. I know you mentioned that, and how long that break is going to really determine what happens by tomorrow afternoon, of course. But
as thunderstorms, they want a little bit of juice, right? They want a little bit of energy.
Need some sun to help with that.
How heavy will the ones in the morning be? Will it wash things out? Will it take all the energy? We'll have to wait and see. But we could pick up another inch of rain out of this.
Yeah, and some projections were showing up to 2 inches in some places. So that could also lead to some flooding concerns here, especially just how much rain we had last week. So let's go ahead and dive into the forecast. Things right now, Chris, are pretty quiet out there. I've been waiting for the sun to come out, and I think in some places it is. Columbus, we're still seeing pretty overcast skies. There may be a few spots of blue sky, not a lot here this afternoon, but our temperatures are still pretty mild. We got 66 degrees right now. Winds are out of the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour. So southerly winds are helping to bring in the warmer air over the last several days. Of course, we dropped our temperatures from the 70s back on Friday and Saturday down Sunday, and then we warmed right back up to 70 here yesterday. And we'll still get close to the lower 70s here for today. But we need that sunshine, and if we get some sunshine in the next couple hours, we'll likely bounce up to about 70, maybe up to 72 degrees in a couple places here for this afternoon. But we are going to be tracking just the mild temperatures for today and tomorrow, and all of this is coming together. The warm weather, the increase in humidity, that moisture, that's going to be the fuel for the showers and storms that we have late tonight, mainly tomorrow morning, and then again for tomorrow afternoon as we're tracking those 2 rounds of showers and storms. But again, for today, lower 70s are in the forecast, and we'll keep that going for tomorrow. Highs will be in the low 70s, but like I said, we're tracking showers and storms. A 10 weather impact alert here for 2 rounds, 1 in the morning around the commute, and then we'll catch a break, and depending on how long that break is, and if we can get some sunshine, our temperatures will bounce up into the low 70s, maybe the mid 70s in some places, and then that's going to provide the energy in combination with that moisture as a cold front arrives for another round of storms to kick off, and that's going to bring potential for severe weather, in addition to some heavier rainfall. Once all this clears out, though, and we get that cold front moving in, our temperatures are going to drop quickly. We drop from the low 70s down to the 30s as we head into tomorrow night, and only highs in the 40s by Thursday. So a bit of a change, a stronger cold front than the one we had just back over this weekend. Now, as we look at the radar picture right now, not much happening out there. There has been some mist, some drizzle, a little patchy drizzle here and there. Nothing really to worry about for today, but we are still seeing that cloud cover. But you'll notice there is some clearing down to the south, Jackson to Athens, and even back towards the south and west. We're seeing some sunshine. We'll get into that this afternoon, and that's going to help to bounce our temperatures up to the lower 70s, at least for some areas here for today. Meanwhile, out to the west, there's our storm system out across the central and southern plains. That's going to kick off thunderstorms in really a large area here as we head through this afternoon. As we look at the overall risk for severe weather here today into tonight, you'll notice 2 separate areas of orange and especially the red. So one area that's down in Texas and Oklahoma, likely going to see some thunderstorms there developing along a dry line in western and central parts of Texas and Oklahoma. Storms will continue all the way up northeast, but this area right in here where you see the orange and especially the red, that's what Chris was referring to, that moderate risk, a level 4 out of 5 for severe weather, as there's likely going to be some supercell thunderstorms developing in northern parts of Illinois, perhaps all the way west into northern Missouri, southeastern Iowa, and then those storms are going to track to the east and will pose the risk for tornadoes and potentially some strong tornadoes like we saw late last week on Friday. We had that tornado in southern Michigan. There were tornadoes in parts of Oklahoma that produced some damage. So strong tornadoes are definitely a possibility with those thunderstorms later on this afternoon, especially in that red area, which does extend into northern parts of Indiana. So what's going to happen is those storms are eventually going to be moving to the east. And as we head into tonight, the storms will gradually start to weaken a bit and likely not going to pose as much of a risk for tornadoes and hail, but some high wind gusts and heavy rainfall. Definitely a concern as we look at the storms building into Ohio here as we head into late tonight. And the risk is a little bit higher in northern parts of Ohio here for tonight. But looking ahead to tomorrow, this is our severe weather outlook, which does actually now include a good portion of the state. Actually, this is increased from what we had earlier today. At least the outlook has expanded. Before, it was closer to the I-70 corridor and eastward, but now it includes more of northwestern Ohio for those storms in the morning, and then that second round of storms as we head into the afternoon. And right now, the greatest concern is going to be for some damaging wind gusts. However, there is some concern because of how much wind is associated with the storm. One of the reasons why we're talking about damaging winds, but there's enough wind and perhaps some changing wind that we could be talking about maybe a couple of tornadoes developing with some of the strongest thunderstorms if they can remain by themselves and tap into some of that rotation. So that concern is also there. Some small hail and then, of course, definitely some heavy rainfall as we see both of those rounds of showers and storms moving through. So here's the look at the hour-by-hour forecast as we go through today. We'll get the sunshine. Temperatures will get up to the low 70s. As we head into tonight, staying on the warm side, temperatures will be in the 60s overnight, and then we get those showers and storms arriving here for tomorrow morning. So this is round number one. Definitely some heavy rainfall, potentially for some stronger thunderstorms with some gusty winds and maybe even some small hail. That moves through, and then by noon, we're going to catch a break. And the question is, how much sunshine do we get for tomorrow afternoon? Because then that's going to correlate to what happens by tomorrow afternoon and evening as we see yet another line of thunderstorms rolling through. That would bring that risk for damaging wind gusts, perhaps a tornado, some small hail, definitely some heavy rainfall. So again, tomorrow, 10 weather impact alert because we're tracking 2 rounds of showers and storms, and then that strong cold front arrives, and look at our temperatures down to the 40s here for Thursday. We'll get some sunshine, but it's going to be cold out there here as we go through the end of the week. We do bounce up into the 50s here on Friday, and then we are tracking highs back close to 70 on Sunday. However, we are tracking another chance of some showers and thunderstorms here as we look ahead to the end of the weekend, and then again some more cold air as we head into next week. So that's your 10 weather impact forecast. And as we're talking about severe weather, I want to go back to Friday here because of course we had some severe weather in parts of Oklahoma. We were tracking that supercell thunderstorm though also in southern Michigan. So take a look at this video out of there.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Lissandro, lock this door. You guys are chickens.
Stay safe.
Lock it.
I'm on.
And yeah, just some dramatic video there. Again, that was out of southern Michigan, and you can see they were taking shelter in that Cricket Wireless, but definitely a scary situation. And unfortunately, it did lead to quite a bit of damage. You're looking at some of the drone video of damage left behind after a tornado hit Union City, Michigan. National Weather Service is still investigating, but they say the tornado was possibly an EF3. It's still preliminary, with winds up to 150 miles per hour. Unfortunately, with that storm, 3 people were killed and several others were injured. Just dramatic scene again. This happened last Friday as a powerful thunderstorm rolled through southern Michigan and produced that tornado, and actually multiple tornadoes in a couple of different cities. One there in Union City, and then another one near Three Rivers in southern Michigan. So again, unfortunate scene out of there, and we're going to be watching to see how things play out over the course of today and tomorrow with more severe weather impacting the Midwest. And finally today, we also want to check out some new video into us here at 10 TV. And a little bit different than talk about severe weather. This one actually includes warmer temperatures, but this is out of Vermont, where the warm temperatures have led to ice jams, ice building up on some different rivers in that area. And you can see some of the ice jams actually causing a little bit of flooding in some of the nearby parks along the river. This is in just a couple of different places in parts of Vermont, and actually they're encouraging, if you live near the river, emergency officials urge you just have to have a plan in place just in case you do have to evacuate if the flood waters do become a bit more concerning over the course of the next couple of weeks. So definitely something to watch for those ice jams up there in parts of Vermont. And of course, as we get the spring warm up, that does happen in many different states. We've seen ice jams here in Ohio. Thankfully, we're not tracking any of that because all the ice has melted after we've seen our warm temperatures here for the last couple of weeks, and more are in the forecast as we head through today and tomorrow, and even all the way into Sunday with highs back to around 70. So that'll do it for us here today with your update here on 10 TV Plus. Thanks for joining us for another edition of our 10 Weather Impact Show. Coming up later on this afternoon, Chief Meteorologist Chris Tomer will be in to detail the severe weather threat for tomorrow. But also, before we wrap up the show here today, we want to leave you with this. Out of South Carolina, the aquarium there transported 3 sea turtles to Florida and released them back to the wild. The aquarium says all 3 turtles have recovered from their injuries and illnesses, and Florida has the best weather conditions for them to adapt. Take a look.